The Sierra 1500 is one of the best trucks ever built, but not every engine GM put in it deserves to be there. 3 engines cost Sierra owners more in repairs than they save in fuel. 4 are proven past 300,000 miles. The worst one is in the newest truck on the lot. The best one costs less than a Camry. Let's start with the engines to avoid. And worst number 3 is the one that sounds like progress on paper until you live with it in a 5,000-pound truck. The 2.7-liter turbo 4-cylinder. Engine code L3B. Available on the 2019 and newer Sierra 1500 and Pro, SLE, and Elevation trims. 310 horsepower, 348 pound-feet of torque. On paper, the torque number is competitive with some V8s. In practice, it's a turbocharged 4-cylinder doing the work of a V8 in a truck that weighs over 5,000 pounds. Here's the Sierra-specific problem. The Sierra skews toward towing, hauling, and highway driving. That's who buys a Sierra. And under towing load, the 2.7 turbo is working hard. The turbo is spooled constantly, heat builds, and turbocharged 4-cylinders under sustained load in heavy trucks don't have the long-term reliability data that naturally aspirated V8s have, because they haven't existed long enough. The 5.3 has 25 years of data and millions of trucks past 200,000 miles. The 2.7 has 6 years. You're buying an unproven powertrain in a proven truck. The market already knows this. A Sierra with the 2.7 turbo sells for $2,000 to $4,000 less than the identical Sierra with the 5.3 V8. Same year, same miles, same trim. The 4-cylinder is worth less because buyers don't trust it in a full-size truck. And for the same $25,000 to $35,000 you'd spend on a 2019 through 2022 Sierra with the Turbo 4, you can buy the same Sierra with the 5.3. Same money, proven engine. A 4-cylinder turbo in a 5,000-pound truck is an engineering answer to a question Sierra owners aren't asking. But this next engine is worse because it looks like the right choice. It's the engine most buyers get without questioning it. Worst number 2, the 5.3 V8 Gen 5 with dynamic fuel management. Engine code L84, standard on most 2019 and newer Sierra 1500 trims. 355 horsepower, 383 pound-feet, exactly the same power numbers as the Gen 4 5.3 it replaced. Same displacement, same basic architecture, but with one addition that changes the ownership math entirely. DFM, 17-pattern cylinder deactivation that constantly cycles all 16 lifters across every possible combination from 2 to 8 active cylinders. Here's what that engineering marvel delivers in real-world Sierra ownership. Lifter failures documented at 40,000 to 80,000 miles. $3,000 to $5,500 for lifters and cam. On trucks that should run well past 200,000 miles, the fuel-saving system is creating catastrophic failures before the truck is even broken in. And here's the Sierra-specific detail that makes it worse. Most Sierra owners tow. DFM activates during steady-state highway cruise, even while pulling a trailer. Tow haul mode does not reliably disable it. The lifters are cycling under maximum engine load, which is the fastest way to kill them. I've covered this in multiple videos. Mechanics call it towing your lifters to death. Stay with me here. A 270 DFM disabler is mandatory on this engine. Not recommended, mandatory. Without it, the failure isn't if, it's when. But even with the disabler, you're paying $28,000 to $42,000 for a Sierra with the same horsepower as a Gen 4 5.3 that costs half as much and doesn't need the disabler to survive. The comparison that kills this engine, a 2010 through 2013 Sierra with the Gen 4 5.3 plus a 270 disabler plus a $500 fluid service equals $14,800 total. The 2019 Sierra with the L84 at $35,000 plus the same disabler, plus a potential $4,000 lifter job if the previous owner didn't disable it, equals $39,270. Same capability, $24,000 apart. Same horsepower as the engine it replaced. A $3,000 to $5,000 failure mode the old one didn't have. Progress. Now, worst number 1. The engine that costs Sierra owners the most money relative to what it delivers, and it's the one the dealer pushes as the premium option. Worst number 1, the 3.0 Duramax Inline-6 Diesel, engine code LM2. Available on 2020 and newer Sierra 1500 SLT, AT4, and Denali trims. 277 horsepower, the lowest of any Sierra engine. 4 60-pound-feet of torque, the highest, and a price premium of $2,500 to $4,000 over the 5.3 V8 before you put a single mile on it. The fuel economy is legitimately better. EPA 23 city, 30 highway versus 16 and 22 on the 5.3. But diesel fuel costs roughly 60 cents more per gallon than regular unleaded. When you calculate cost per mile instead of miles per gallon, the savings shrink dramatically. And the break-even point on the purchase premium, 80 to 100,000 miles of driving before you recoup what you overpaid at the dealer. Here's where the math gets ugly for Sierra diesel owners. Oil changes, $80 to $120 versus $50 to $80 on the 5.3. Diesel fuel filters, $75 to $120 every 15 to 20,000 miles. DEF fluid refills, and the emissions equipment that comes with every modern diesel, DPF replacement at $2,000 to $4,000. DEF system failure at $1,000 to $2,500. EGR issues. These aren't hypothetical costs. They're documented failure points on diesel engines that gas Sierra owners simply never face. Let me run the total cost of ownership over 100,000 miles. Sierra with 5.3 V8, purchase at $35,000, fuel at roughly $12,000, maintenance at $3,000, total $50,000. Sierra with 3.0 diesel, purchase at $38,000, fuel at $10,000, better miles per gallon but higher fuel price, maintenance at $5,000, diesel specific items, plus potential emissions repairs at $2,000 to $4,000, total $55,000 to $57,000. The diesel costs $5,000 to $7,000 more over 100,000 miles. The fuel savings don't cover the premium. They never did. I'm not done yet. The diesel Sierra holds resale well right now, but at high mileage, past 150,000, buyers start fearing the emission system repair bills. The resale advantage erodes exactly when you need it most. Let me be clear. The diesel Sierra makes sense for a very specific owner. Someone who drives 30,000 plus highway miles per year and needs the torque for consistent heavy towing. That's maybe 1% of Sierra buyers. For the other 99%, the gas 5.3 does everything the diesel does for less money at purchase, less money in maintenance, and less money in repairs. The diesel Sierra makes sense on a spreadsheet for 1% of owners. The gas Sierra makes sense in the real world for the other 99%. Those are the three Sierra engines that cost more than they're worth. A Turbo 4 that the market doesn't trust, a DFM V8 with a built-in failure mode, and a diesel that never recoups its premium. But the next four are the opposite. Proven, affordable, and every one of them earns back what you spent. Drop a comment. What engine is in your Sierra and how many miles? I read every one of them. And hit subscribe if you want real ownership data every week. Not dealer brochures, not forum guesses. The math that saves you money. Let's get into the best. Best number 4, and the most overlooked engine in the Sierra lineup, is the 4.8 V8. Engine code LY2. Found on 2007 through 2013, Sierra 1500 work truck and base SLE trims, 302 horsepower, 305 pound-feet of torque, less power than the 5.3, and that's why nobody searches for it. But here's the detail that makes this engine a goldmine. No AFM, zero-cylinder deactivation. All 8 cylinders fire all the time from the factory. No lifter cycling, no collapse risk, no disabler needed. The most expensive failure mode on the 5.3 simply does not exist on the 4.8. The 4.8 shares the same LS architecture as the 5.3. Iron block, forged crankshaft, powdered metal rods, same bulletproof bottom end, same oil system, same cooling system. It's the 5.3's little brother with one less problem and a lower price tag. Towing capacity drops to about 7,400 pounds versus 9,500 on the 5.3. But here's the thing. If you tow under 7,000 pounds, boats, jet skis, small utility trailers, the 4.8 does everything you need without the AFM liability. Here's how to find one. Most listings don't advertise the 4.8. They just say V8. Search for Sierra Work Truck or Sierra Base SLE in the GMT 900 years. When you find one, check the RPO sticker inside the glove box. Look for engine code LY2. That's your 4.8. You can also check the 8th digit of the VIN. A C indicates the 4.8, a 3 indicates the 5.3. Most buyers don't know this. That's why 4.8 Sierras sit longer on lots and sell for less. Their loss. Your goldmine. Used price. A GMT 900 Sierra with the 4.8 sells for $6,000 to $12,000. That's 2,000 to 4,000 less than the same Sierra with the 5.3. Because everyone searches for the 5.3 and nobody types 4.8 into the search bar. Lower demand, lower price, simpler engine. The engine nobody searches for on the truck everybody wants. That's why the price is a goldmine. And best number 3 is for the buyer who wants real power and is willing to pay for the engine that deserves the disabler. Best number 3, the 6.2 V8. Engine code L86 on K2XX, L87 on T1XX. Found on Sierra SLT, AT4, and Denali trims from 2014 forward. 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet. This is the performance engine in the Sierra lineup, and the one that justifies the disabler investment better than any other. Here's the logic. The 6.2 has AFM on K2XX and DFM on T1XX. Same cylinder deactivation system as the 5.3. Same 270 disabler fixes it. Same day one install. But the 6.2 gives you 65 more horsepower and 77 more pound-feet of torque than the 5.3. If you're buying the disabler anyway, and you should be, get the engine that delivers something meaningful for the same fix. The 6.2 in a K2XX Sierra Denali is the performance sweet spot of the used market. Magnetic ride suspension, 420 horsepower, premium interior, and with a disabler installed, a reliable long-term powertrain that makes the truck feel like something worth twice the price. Used price, K2XX Denali with the 6.2 runs 22 to 35,000. T1XX AT4 or Denali with the 6.2 runs 35 to 55,000. The K2XX is the value play. The truck has already depreciated through the steep part of the curve, and you're buying proven hardware at a proven price. If you're buying the disabler anyway, buy the engine that deserves it. 65 more horsepower for the same fix. Now, best number 2 goes back in time to the simplest Sierra 5.8 you can buy. Best number 2, the 5.3 Gen 3. Engine codes LM7 and L33. Found on 2003 through 2006 Sierra 1500, the GMT 800 platform. 295 horsepower and 335 pound-feet on the LM7 iron block. 310 horsepower and 340 pound-feet on the L33 aluminum block high-output variant. And here's the critical detail. No AFM, no DFM, zero-cylinder deactivation of any kind, all 8 cylinders, all the time, from the factory. Cylinder deactivation didn't arrive on the 5.3 until 2007. This is the simplest Sierra 5.8 you can buy. Port fuel injection only. No direct injection means no carbon buildup on intake valves. No turbo. No DEF. No DPF. No intercooler. The fewest possible failure modes of any Sierra engine ever offered. The iron block LM7 is proven past 300,000 miles on basic maintenance. Oil changes, plugs, and the occasional water pump. That's the ownership experience. The L33 aluminum block is the hidden gem. Lighter, slightly more powerful, and equipped in fewer trucks, which means it gets overlooked even more. Used price, a Sierra GMT 800 with the Gen 3 5.3 runs, $5,000 to $13,000. You get a fully equipped truck with an engine that has nothing to go wrong for the price of a high-mileage sedan, the truck your mechanic learned on, and the engine he still trusts more than anything built since. And best number 1, the engine I recommend more than any other. The single best powertrain you can buy in a Sierra 1500 in 2026. Best number 1, the 5.3 V8 Gen 4. Engine codes LC9, LH6, LY5, and LMG. Found on 2007 through 2013 Sierra 1500, the GMT 900 platform. 315 to 320 horsepower depending on variant, 335 pound-feet. Paired with the 6L80 transmission, the most reliable automatic GM has produced in the modern era. This engine has AFM. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't, but AFM on the Gen 4 is the simpler 4 and 8 cylinder system, not the 17 pattern DFM on the Gen 5. And it's fully disableable with a 270 range device. Plug it in on day 1. All 8 cylinders fire permanently. The lifter cycling that causes failure stops immediately. What's left is a naturally aspirated V8 on a proven transmission with a fully boxed frame, the most documented, most supported, and most reliable Sierra powertrain combination in history. At 100,000 miles with AFM disabled and oil maintained, the bottom end is barely broken in. 200,000 is routine. 300,000 is documented on original internals. The architecture is the same platform GM uses in the Corvette and Camaro at over 500 horsepower. Your Sierra makes 320. It's not working hard. Used price, $9,500 to $18,000 for a crew cab four-wheel drive Sierra. The 2012 through 2013 SLE with Z71 is the ultimate value configuration. Off-road suspension, skid plates, locking rear differential tow package for $12,000 to $15,000. The Day 1 Protocol AFM disabler at $270. Full fluid service, engine oil, transmission, differentials, transfer case, coolant, brake fluid, $300 to $500. Total investment under $800 on top of the purchase price. That eliminates the two biggest risk factors and sets you up for 200,000 miles of predictable ownership. I pulled listings this week to make this real. 2012 Sierra SLEZ 71 Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, 5.3 Gen 4, 115,000 miles, listed at $14,200. Add the $800 Day 1 Protocol, and you're at $15,000 total for a truck that'll run another 150,000 miles without drama. Compare that to a 2020 Sierra SLE Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, 5.3 DFM, 62,000 miles, listed at $34,000. Add the disabler at $270. Budget $3,000 to $5,000 for the lifter job the previous owner may not have prevented. You're at $37,000 to $39,000 for a truck with less proven longevity. $15,000 versus $38,000. Same badge, same bed, same towing capacity. The only difference is what's under the hood and how many miles of data stand behind it. Here's the thing, the window is closing. 5 years ago, these trucks were $6,000 to $10,000. Today, $9,000, $5,000 to $18,000. In 5 years, clean examples will be $20,000 or more. Every year you wait costs you money. The market is realizing what mechanics have known for a decade. The most reliable Sierra you can buy in 2026 isn't the newest one on the lot. It's the one that's already proven everything it needs to prove. 3 worst, 4 best. The pattern is the same one that runs through every smart truck purchase. Complexity costs money and simplicity saves it. A Turbo 4 adds complexity. DFM adds complexity. A diesel adds complexity. The 4.8 removes it. The Gen 3 5.3 never had it. The Gen 4 5.3 lets you disable it for $270, and the 6.2 gives you the most power for the same fix. The best Sierra engine isn't the newest, it isn't the most powerful, it's the one with the fewest things that can go wrong. And on a Sierra, that's a Gen 4 5.3 with the one weakness disabled for $270. If you want to protect whatever engine you buy, watch 7 Stupid Engine Habits Killing Your Lifters. Every fix is free. And for which Sierra model years to pair with these engines, watch 3 worst and 4 best Sierra years you can buy. That's the companion to this video. Not every engine GM put in the Sierra deserves to be there. Now you know which ones do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.